जेनरिक मेडिसिन, प्रधानमंत्री जन औषधि योजना, लाइक उन्होंने बीजेपी के नाम पे रख दिया, प्रधानमंत्री भारतीय जन औषधि परियोजना। इनिशियली इट वाज द प्रधानमंत्री जन औषधि योजना, ठीक है। नाउ इट्स कॉल्ड द पीएम बीजेपी, ठीक है। सो दे आर इशूइंग द जेनरिक ड्रग्स. Generic drugs are those drugs which are manufactured by any country, not having the any brand name नहीं है. Generic drugs like किसी drugs का license था पहले, they are having the patent for the 10 years, but now the patent is expired, and now the other manufacturers are also allowed for manufacturing the same drug. So means that's a genericity. Genericity जो कंपनी ने इन्वेंट की है उस ड्रग को, उसके अलावा कोई भी उसको मैन्युफैक्चर कर रहा है, and they are selling in the market at the lower prices than the issuing prices. That's a generic drug. So like the paracetamol, if you are buying the paracetamol of the Sun Pharma, that will cost you the 50 rupee for the 10 tablets. If we are buying the paracetamol of from the Pradhan Mantri Jan Aushadhi Yojana, it will cost you the 3 rupee. So the difference in the rate because of the patent and because of the branding, that's a different, that's come to the generic. But the generic drugs is considered as they are not much effective as the branding drug. That's like a fake controversy, but they are having a similar amount of the salt, but the manufacturers sometimes do, they will adding some of the adhesive there. If they are not adding the proper amount of the quantity of a drug, but they are giving some of the fixtures, like only the calcium carbonate they are providing. That's the issue from the side of the manufacturer. But in the case of the condition, we can say these drugs, generic drugs as well as the branding drugs, having the same amount of the quantity of the drugs. But from in India, we know the manufacturing and doing some of the bad things. They are adding some of the small amount of the effective drugs there. It's a bad habit. That's why some of the country are like prohibiting the export of the country. Na? After expiration of the patent, it can be generic. Like the patent of the diabetes drugs. Diabetes recently, the Sun Pharma diabetes drug patent is expired in the last July. After that, its generic production is started because the Sun Pharma is selling the one tablet at 300-350 rupee, and now it will come to the 40 rupee, 30 rupee. Because in India there is a condition, they will give you a patent for the 10 years. Then it's under the rule of the India, if they want to give you for the other 10 years, they will charge you some money. But in the most of the cases, that's related to the health, the government is not extending the payments of the company. Generic, because it's easily accessible, the people are not having that much amount of the money, they will not able to buy the drugs. So they can easily now buy the drugs like in the generic cases. Same compound, like take an example from this industry, XYZ coaching institution and ABC coaching institution. XYZ coaching institution is charging you 2 lakh rupee. They are offering you mentoring. They are offering you prelim test series. They are offering also the mains test series. Similarly, in the case of the other XYZ institution, is charging 70,000 rupee. They are offering the mentoring. They are offering the prelim test series. They are offering the main test series. And they're also giving us some of the extra additives. When you will go here, you will say कि मजा नहीं आया काम करने में. They are charging 2 lakh rupee. The quality, as say, is good, but not that good. Here, but in the same amount of the money, this company is giving the better services than this company. Consider in the case of the medicine, they are patented. They're charging you 2 lakh rupee. They are generic. They are charging you 70,000 rupee, but the quality is better than the patented one. But in the case of the medicinal sector, it is considered both are the equivalent, but in the manufacturing issues, because the manufacturing, like the person who are doing the manufacturing of these drugs, they're adding some of the smaller amount of the drugs there. So that's why they're different. Otherwise, there is no difference between the generic and the patented drugs. Okay? Less effective sometimes because of the manufacturer sides, not of the difference between the drugs. Okay? Generic. We are exporting generic after the checking the quality. Because most of the patent in India are from the foreigner company. And the company and the foreign country will not export the patented one because the same company is selling those patented products all over the world. Yes, they are coming in the generic, like the Rabipur for the after biting the dogs, they're giving you Rabipur injections. If you're buying the patented product of the Rabipur, that will cost you about 2,000 rupee, but a generic version costs you 100 rupee. There is no differentiation between at that time of the generic and the. If there comes under essential, the government responsibility to provide you the medicine. Because they are all the patented one right now, and the company are those who are providing the cancer drugs to the patient. Their patent is not expired till now. And in some of the cases, the government is also considering the patent. If the government is not providing the patent for the longer time, there is no benefit for the company, those who are investing in the research, too much amount of the money in the research. Why the India's companies are not able to for the R&D? Because the costs are very less for the drugs here. They are promoting the generic because of the health to all as a fundamental articles. That's why the R&D are very less in India. Why in the foreign country the health is important there, but the health is very costly in the foreign country as compared to the India. If you go to the USA, we are going to the Canada, the UK, the health is very costly there. People are earning the 100%, they're spending 30-35% on the health there. But state is charging the higher tax then, na? On the basis of the social security tax, they are charging the higher tax there. If in India the government is charging that much tax, the people will protest on the roads. So in the case of the production by the volume, we are the third rank. In the case of the production generic, we are on the first rank. In the case of the production by the volume, we are the 14th rank. Because the active pharmaceutical ingredient is not in the India, we are mostly dependent on the China for the API. API is known as the active pharmaceutical ingredient. Some of the find in the India also, but the maximum we are dependent on the China. India is leading manufacturing here globally, and this is all controlled by the National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authority, the deciding of the prices of the drugs in the country by the NPPA, National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authority. And the target to increase this industry by the 130 billion by 2030 by the government of India in this economic survey. They're starting to charge by the $130 billion there.